Yo, what is good everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be breaking down the Nhl Dfs slate for Thursday, October 27th. We got ourselves a beautiful 10-game slate here tonight, where I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite line stacks, some of my favorite individual plays, and some of my favorite value plays. With that being said, let's dive into my spreadsheet here. And we're going to kick things off here like we always do in the top left-hand corner with those highest implied game totals. We got 8 of these games coming in with an implied total of 6.5 goals, and we got 2 games coming in at 6 goals between the Capitals and Stars and the Jets and Kings. And take a look down here at the Vegas odds. You can see the Bruins, Maple Leafs, Oilers, Panthers all sitting pretty nice on the money line, as well as the other teams that are favored to win here tonight. With that being said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks here that I like for tonight. Now, there's a lot to love about the forward position like there usually is on these 10-game slates, but one line that stuck out to me was that second line for the Boston Bruins. We got Krejci centering Hall and Pastrnak. Now, we saw these 3 get put together about 3 games ago, and in their last 3 games, they've been able to combine for 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points, essentially averaging 4 points per game. And I like the matchup at home here tonight against the Detroit Red Wings, who have definitely improved, but still have some defensive and goalie flaws. We've seen that here. In their last 4 games, they allowed 6 goals to the Devils, 5 goals to the LA Kings, and 4 goals to the Chicago Blackhawks. The other game they ended up winning against the Anaheim Ducks. Now we're going to see Krejci and Pasta play up on the number 1 power play. Hall plays down on the second, but these 3 will log big minutes together, 5-on-5. And then another line stack I like here tonight is that first line for the Los Angeles Kings. We got Kopitar centering Fiala and Kempe. Now, I know these 3 haven't put up fantastic numbers this year, but they've still been pretty damn good. Their price here, though, is egregiously cheap, and I will absolutely take advantage of that. They put up 7 goals, 13 assists, 20 points so far in 8 games, and like I said, that's not fantastic numbers by any means, but they're still getting on the score sheet, and I do like the matchup at home here tonight against the Winnipeg Jets, particularly because these 3 here play all on the number 1 power play big minutes together 5-on-5, and one area we've seen the Jets really struggle with this year is on their penalty kill, hitting at just a 73.3% rate. That was the case for the Jets, especially towards the end of last year. Their penalty kill was one of the worst in the NHL, so that's the correlation you're getting here with these 3, but again, just egregiously cheap considering the upside. Now folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. I'm going to have hockey content coming out for you guys all year long. For those of you who are on Discord, I also have a channel on there talking some NFL and NHL. Link in the description below if you want to join that. And for those of you looking for some hockey bets, I am posting some on my Twitter as well if you want to give that a follow. Alright, now diving into some of these individual plays here, we're going to kick it off with the forwards. First being Auston Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs. This guy is going to blow up here sooner than later, and he hasn't played bad this year. 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points in 7 games, but 1 goal on 33 shots this year, that is a shooting percentage of 3%. Let's just take a look back here at the last 3 years for Matthews. Last year, 17.2%. The year before that, 18.5%. The year before that, 16.2%. And if you want to go back before that, 14.74 and 18.18. So the shooting percentage is tremendously low right now for Auston Matthews, who has one of the best shots in the NHL. He's shooting at a consistent rate. That's not the issue. He's just not scoring goals, but that's going to come sooner than later. Plays on that first line, plays on the number 1 power play, and I do like the matchup here tonight against the San Jose Sharks. And then on the other side of that game here, I got Timo Meier of the San Jose Sharks, who's in a very similar situation to Auston Matthews. This guy is a natural goal scorer. He put up 35 last year with 41 assists, 76 points in 77 games. Through 9 games this year, he has 0 goals, 2 assists, and 42 shots on net. If he keeps shooting the puck at the same rate, he's going to find the back of the net here sooner than later, and maybe even multiple times in the same game, or at least have a multiple point game. I understand that this isn't the easiest of matchups here at home here tonight against the Toronto Maple Leafs, but Meier here is a major outlier right now. He's bound to have a big game here sooner than later. I then got Drake Batherson there of the Ottawa Senators, and I like this Ottawa team here in general tonight with a good home matchup against the Minnesota Wild. Yes, the Wild did look better last game against the Montreal Canadiens, but this is still a team that's allowed 4.67 goals per game to start the season, second most in the NHL, and a penalty kill that's just hitting at a 78% rate, one of the worst in the NHL. And Batherson's had himself a good start to the season, 3 goals, 6 assists, 9 points in 6 games, averaging around 15.5 DraftKings points per game, plays up on that first line, plays on the number 1 power play, and should log about 17 plus minutes here tonight. Now, I don't want to say Tage Thompson is in a similar situation to Timo Meier and Austin Matthews because he only has 14 shots on net through 6 games this year, but I believe that he is going to start shooting the puck more, similar to what we saw last year where he had himself a 38-goal season. It's a good price here at $5,300 as well, considering the matchup at home against the Montreal Canadiens. We're going to see Thompson play up on that first line, play on the number 1 power play, should log about 18 plus minutes here tonight, and just like Meier and Matthews, I truly believe that he's bound to have a big game here sooner than later. Next, I got Matt Boldy there of the Minnesota Wild, who's sitting at a nice price of $4,700. This kid's looked very consistent to start the year, shooting the puck at a higher rate than we saw last year, 22 shots through 6 games so far, and he's racked up 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points in 6 games, averaging around 13 DraftKings points per game, and someone who's got 20 plus DraftKings point upside. We're seeing him play on that second line right now, but up on the number 1 power play, and one area that this Ottawa team has struggled this year is on the penalty kill, just hitting at a 76% rate. So I like the matchup here tonight for him, and even more so like him priced here in the 4K range. I then got Matty Beniers there of the Seattle Kraken, who is more of a contrarian play, and being that it is a 10-game slate, ownership projections are very spread out. I really don't worry about ownership on these large slates like this, but Beniers here has a really good matchup at home as well, on top of being contrarian, playing the Vancouver Canucks, who look like one of the worst teams in the NHL this year. They've allowed 4.29 goals per game and have a penalty kill percentage of 57.1, by far the worst in the NHL. Beniers here plays up on that first line, plays on the number 2 power play, and has 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points through 8 games. Now, moving over here to the defenseman, first guy I got there is Rasmus Dahlin. Now, I don't mind spending up for the defenseman position here tonight. I would like to pay up for forwards as well, but there is some really nice value at the forward position. If you want to spend a little extra money here at the defensive position, one of the guys that I would pay up for is Rasmus Dahlin, who's just off to a fantastic start to the season. I know last game he only had 1 assist and 7.8 DraftKings points, but that's been his lowest score all year long. This is a guy who's got 5 goals, 4 assists, 9 points in 6 games. He's averaging around 3 shots on net per game and 2 block shots per game. So he really is racking up DraftKings points in a number of different ways. That's led to him averaging 19.5 DraftKings points per game to start the season. I also don't mind paying up for Thomas Chabot here of the Ottawa Senators. I talked about how I like the matchup for the Sens at home here tonight against the Minnesota Wild, who have not been very good defensively this year. Do not have a very good penalty kill. Chabot's a guy who should log 25 plus minutes here tonight and plays up on that number 1 power play. And being that Josh Norris is expected to be out here for the foreseeable future for the Ottawa Senators and might even miss all year, I really hope that doesn't happen. But he's not going to play here tonight, that's for sure. We might see Chabot just shoot the puck more on that power play, being that Norris is out. We kind of saw that last game against the Dallas Stars. Chabot had 7 shots on net, 1 goal, 1 assist, and 28.3 DraftKings points, and you're going to see him get time on the penalty kill too, so another guy who can rack up DraftKings points in multiple ways. I then got Drew Doughty there of the Los Angeles Kings, who's also very affordable, just like that first line that I highlighted earlier. Realistically, you could play all 4 of those guys together in a good matchup at home against the Winnipeg Jets, who also don't have a good penalty kill. All 4 of those guys play up on the number 1 power play. You're getting really strong correlation in a good home matchup at very cheap price tags. Now, Doughty here, he's got 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points in 8 games this year 3 of those 4 points have come on the power play, so that's primarily where I'm targeting him. And then kind of an off-the-board play here with Jacob Middleton at $3,200. I try not to highlight a bunch of guys who don't play on the special teams, and while Middleton does get on the penalty kill, he sees no time on the power play. But when you're getting it done, you're getting it done, and Jacob Middleton has been able to rack up solid DraftKings points this year. Surprisingly, he has 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points in 6 games. I think that's probably unsustainable for him to rack up that many points going forward. But hey, like I said, when you're hot, you're hot. That's where Middleton is at right now, averaging around 2 shots on net per game and around 2 block shots per game as well. Even at $3,200 here, this is a guy who can get you 3 block shots in a game, get you that 3-point DraftKings bonus. If he adds a couple shots on net as well, you're looking at double-digit DraftKings points. Now, Middleton here is averaging close to 11 DraftKings points per game. That's really solid considering the price. Now, outside of Middleton, there is some nice value at the position here tonight as well, with Lindholm of the Boston Bruins at $3,900. You got Durzi there of the LA Kings at $3,700. You got Dunn there of the Seattle Kraken at $34, and Giordano there of the Toronto Maple Leafs at $31. And then I got a couple of goaltenders here, a high-priced and low-priced option, starting there with Jake Ottinger of the Dallas Stars, who has been great to start the year. Probably the best goaltender in the NHL so far. I know it's a small sample size, but he does look very good. With a 4-1-0 record, a goals allowed average of 1.41, and a save percentage of .953, and leads the entire NHL with 7.2 goals saved above expected. And then I got Carter Hart there of the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, for those of you who have been watching my videos for a couple of years now, you know that I don't have the most confidence in Carter Hart in my DraftKings lineups, but it's really hard to ignore his numbers right now. So if you're looking for a low-price GPP play that has shown some really nice upside this year, it is Carter Hart at $7,000. He's 4-0-0 to start the season with a goals allowed average of 1.75 and a save percentage of .949. Tremendous numbers there with 6.2 goals save above expected. That's the 3rd best in the NHL, just behind Jake Ottinger and Jake Allen of the Montreal Canadiens. Now, this is a tough matchup at home here tonight against the Florida Panthers, but like I said, $7,000 low-price GPP play that has shown some nice upside. And as always, going to wrap up the spreadsheet here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. You probably noticed I had Nick Robertson listed in 2 spots there for most of this video, but the notes did have Jaden Schwartz listed. I got that updated now. We're going to kick it off here, though, with Shane Pinto of the Ottawa Senators. Kid is off to a great start this year, playing on that 3rd line in number 2 power play. Currently riding a 5-game goal streak, and with Josh Norris out, I think we're going to see Shane Pinto have an expanded role going forward. We really didn't see that last game, but if he keeps scoring at the rate that he is, he's got to get more ice time. Next is Jaden Schwartz there of the Seattle Kraken at $3,600. Plays up on that first line with Matty Beniers. You could do a little pairing there if you wanted to, which is very affordable in a great matchup against the Vancouver Canucks. And Schwartz has been good. He's got 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points through 8 games, hitting double-digit DraftKings points in 5 of those games. You're also going to see him play up on that number 1 power play. And then I got Nick Robertson there of the Toronto Maple Leafs, who's currently playing on that second line right now with John Tavares and William Nylander, getting time on the number 2 power play too. And through 3 games, we've seen him play well with 2 goals and 1 assist. That's usually the result when you're playing with guys like Tavares and Nylander. And then to wrap up the video here, want to talk a little prize picks with you guys. I'm a little late recording here this morning. I thought I'd have more picks to look through, but they only got props out right now for 3 of these games, unfortunately. Fortunately, 2 of them are sticking out to me. Rasmus Dahlin there over 2.0 shots on goal. He should at least be at 2.5. Matthew Tkachuk there at 3.5. He's cleared that in every game but 1 so far this year, which was just last game. And then in his post-game interview, he came out and said, we need to shoot the puck more. So yeah, that sounds pretty good at 3.5. But like I always do, I'll wait for the rest of these picks to come out and then let you know my favorite picks in a comment below on this video, and I'll be sure to pin that comment as well. Again, don't be afraid to join my Discord. We got a bunch of people talking props and bets in there as well. And again, don't be afraid to join my Discord channel. I have a bunch of different channels throughout there, talking NHL, talking NFL, and then I got a specific channel for prize picks Picks and bets. We got quite a few people throwing out their ideas in there. Now, for those of you who have not signed up for Prize Picks yet but want to get in on this action, I got a promo code that you should definitely be taking advantage of when you're signing up. Use my promo code GRIFF. GRIFF, and Prize Picks will give you all the way up to a $100 match deposit. Folks, that is legit free money or house money that you're playing with. You don't have to earn it back as a bonus like some of these other DFS sites. Not here. You put $100 in today, they'll match that deposit right away. And you don't have to put $100 in either. You want to put in 50, they'll match 50. You want to put in 20, they'll match 20. They will match anything up to $100. Again, as long as you're using my promo code GRIFF, GRIFF, upon signing up. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money here on this 10-game slate. I'm out of here.